Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Wendy, and this is yoga for Thupten Nobuling in Santa Fe. This is gentle, revitalizing yoga. And I'm Wendy. Did I already say that? So we can begin by taking a comfortable seat. So you can sit up on a blanket if you like. You could even sit in a chair, any seat. And just take a moment just to draw more into yourself and acknowledge that now is the time that we're going to begin 1 hour yoga practice. And you just see how you're feeling. What arises in the sensation in your body. Oftentimes, unpleasant sensations arise. We tend to notice when things are going wrong rather than when things are going right. So if you're tired or you have some pain somewhere, you notice that. Also appreciate how much is going right in your body. We still have this precious life. Able to take a breath in and out. That hasn't stopped yet. Just see how you're also doing in your mind, what kind of emotions or feelings or thoughts, narratives you have going on right now, and acknowledge those. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. And then with a wish for yourself and for all beings to be free of suffering, take a bow. And may our yoga support this intention. Okay. So extend your legs out in front of you, and we will start to circle the ankles. Okay, big circles one way and big circles the other way. Also pull the feet back and point, and do that a few times. So as we move and practice, you just notice the effect on your body. If something ever doesn't feel good, feels risky, you're getting signs that maybe that's not a good pose or a good movement for you, then don't do it. You're the boss, you take care. Also have your feet move in and out where the inner arches pull back and the outer arches pull back. Okay. And come on to, actually before we move, let's move in the hands. Let's do that one. So circle your wrists. And then bring your palms together. I'll come a bit closer to the camera. Bring your palms together. Bring your forearms together. Clasp the hands. And then it's this motion, and the way to find it is it's first just up and down with the elbows, and then you start to add circles and spirals, one way and the other way, moving in your wrist area. First it can just be up and down, and then you try and get some spirals going. And then give a little shake out with your hands and through the arms. Shaking is revitalizing, wakes up the system, moves the energy, the chi come onto your hands and knees if you like. Bring a blanket underneath your knees. Hands underneath your shoulders. Let's start to do some circles here. Back, side, forward, side. Let your arms move, your elbows move, your head, neck move. And take it the other way. Forward, side, back. Tuck your toes under and come and sit on your heels. So this can be quite difficult for some people. If it gets too much, just bring yourself up. But bend the toes under, feel the stretch underneath your feet. Move a little side to side. And then undo your toes, stretch them out, big toes together, knees wide, and bring yourself back into child's pose. That will stretch across the tops of the feet, opens up in the thighs. And rest your head down onto your mat or onto your hands. And move your torso side to side gently. One side, the other side, and any pose you can come out early or do something a little bit different. Otherwise, you just sense the effect of the movement, the poses. Have your breath move in and out through your nose. And then coming up and lie down on your belly. I'm going to open my blanket up a bit more. Lie down on your belly. Forehead, your head can turn one way or the other way on the back of your hands. And feel your front body in touch with the floor. So as you breathe in and out through the nose, if you want to sigh or yawn or groan, definitely let those sounds happen. They're just natural expressions of breath and vocalization. So let them happen, and the yawning is triggered when we are, yawning happens quite often when the body's trying to release tension. Okay, then bring yourself up onto your forearms, elbows under the shoulders. You can stay here, this can be plenty, or you can come a little higher, it just depends, but not too much. Just if you don't feel anything when you're here, you can come a little higher. Let your head drop down, you can drop between your shoulders. And then push the floor away, lift up out of the shoulders. So if the arms stay still, there's quite a bit of movement that happens because the shoulder blades glide and the collarbone moves. And you can let the head release down and give some tugging on the back of the neck as you move the head gently side to side. Okay, so in the poses you can stay quite still, or, which is the one I tend to do myself more and encourage, you take little movements of exploration within the poses to see what else you can find. It's not like we go to a parking spot and we just have to stay there. Okay, so then come down and rest on your belly again. After that, back bend. Bring your hands by your chest, push up. And we'll move into a lunge. You can bring a blanket underneath your knees. And before you go into the lunge, get one of your yoga blocks, or you can improvise with something else, but if you have a yoga block, it's awesome. Bring it between your thighs. It can go the skinny way, and then squeeze the block. Or even, skinny way or maybe medium way. Just bring it between your thighs for a moment and give a squeeze, because when we go into lunge, we want to still be able to hug the inner thighs in towards the midline. And this helps this little movement first. We're squeezing, hugging the block in. We can then translate it when we get into the lunge. So release your block. Then bring one leg forward. It doesn't matter which. I like to switch up day to day. So sometimes I do my left, sometimes the right. And your hands on blocks here is really a great idea. Medium block. If you don't have blocks, it's a little harder to get the floor. Bring your hands, you can fingertip and tent the hands to support you. And your lunge, your pelvis can move gently side to side.
Can I take your car?
Side to side. Hugging the inner thighs in towards midline. Then taking the hips back, moving the foot back, pausing, sitting on your heels. You can untuck the toes this time. Feel the difference in your legs. And then let's go again, the other side. So for me, it will be my right. Bring the right forward. And as you lunge, hug the inner thighs in towards midline. Bring your hands on blocks if you have them, or tented. And let yourself tug across the top of the back thigh. You don't have to go too deep. This one can be too intense, but you also don't want to keep the hips way back. If you pad the back knee, that can be helpful, or even you kind of drag a little bit over the back kneecap so you don't feel pressure there. And when you feel the tug through the back leg, move the pelvis side to side. Taking some movements through the torso and the head, neck. One more breath there. As long as you're not holding your breath, that's important. And then sometimes emphasize your exhale. That's the main one. If we focus on the exhale, the inhale will happen more easily by itself. Bring yourself back, bring yourself out. Move your blocks out of the way. And let's come to a squat. Coming to a squat. So you can bring yourself all the way down between your legs. Heels can be down. Pressing knees in towards midline as the elbows move out. Or if this is not possible, just be up on your toes. Heels up is fine. Try with your legs a little bit further apart. Sometimes people have the feet closer together. I think that can make it harder. Side to side, some movement. Let's go into a standing fold from here by hands down, start to lift the pelvis, keep the head down. If the hands don't stay on the floor, bring them on your shins. Head hangs and knees bend. Keep the back of the knees bend and settle the weight evenly through the front and the back of the feet. You can start to sway here. Breath long and feel the nice length through your back. Let your head bubble. Yes. And then a little bit of bubble side to side. Ground down into the feet, bend the knees, sweep the arms out, and then bring the arms over your head. And palms through center. Just going to move the camera so my hands don't get cut off. Bring this up here. So standing up, we'll take some arm swings. Sweep the arms up. And exhale, arms by the side. Have your feet some distance left to right so you can move around on your feet. Make sure you're not locking out the legs, but keep some softness through the knees and the hips and the ankles. And sweep the arms out. Reach from your heart, from the middle of your back. And take up all the space, reaching out through fingertips, arms by the side. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, arms by the side. Reach out. And arms by the side. Let's take some shoulder circles, up, back, and down. You can do one at a time as well. Sometimes one at a time can be a little easier. And then take the other side. So when you take the shoulder circles, the collarbone moves, the upper arm bone moves, and the shoulder blade moves. Those three bones, your collarbone, your upper arm bone, the shoulder blade, those three bones comprise the shoulder. People often just think of the arm, maybe the shoulder blade, but forget that the collarbone attaches to the shoulder blade. Okay, we'll do some forward bending from here. Sweep the arms out. Sit down in a chair. And then exhale, forward fold, hands to shins, ankles or floor, head heavy, halfway lift. It's a breath in and then a breath out. Sweep arms out, rise up. You can look up if you like, and then keep palms together, bring down through the center. Let's do a couple more like that. Sweep arms out. Take a little back bend here if that feels good for you. And then bend the knees, hinge at the hips, and exhale, fold down, head heavy. Another breath here, long exhale. Bring it halfway up, where you try and lift a little bit in the chest, broaden your collarbones, exhale, fold. Sweep arms out, rise high. And palms through center. Sweep the arms out, one more. Sit down in chair and then hinge forward from your hips. Exhale, head heavy. When you're ready, halfway lift, come out of the forward bend, roundedness in the back. And then hang down again, weight even, front and back of the feet. You can wriggle the toes, lift your toes. Sweep out, root down through the feet, sweep out, rise high. And palms through center. Bring your feet some distance left to right, arms by the side. And then the left arm can come up and slide over. Bring it back by the side. Right arm can come up and slide over. Okay, do that again. And reach over. Just in the amount that feels good for you. Bring it back. Other side, reach out and over, lengthening all the way through the side, waist, ribs. And up and by the side. Sweep arms up, and this time with your right hand, grab your left wrist and bring it over. You can give a little tug. Bring it back, and then your left hand can grab the right wrist and over. And bring it out. Okay, and then just give a little shake through the arms, through the legs. Move the energy. And keep going, a little more shaking, move the energy. I know sometimes it feels a bit self-conscious, but just let it go. Not trying to do anything right here. Just shake. Shake the hands. And then when you come out of the shaking, feel the vibratory quality, the vibration. Relaxing your face and your jaw. Take your legs nice and wide. Bring your hands on your hips and we'll move towards a warrior two. Turn the whole of your right foot out. The back foot heel goes back. And then your hips, you want to keep your leg turning, the whole leg, and the knee turning the direction of the foot. So the hips have moved towards the front foot. That's fine. Just bring your shoulders back. We don't have to try and bring for 99% of the people, you don't want to square your hips because the front leg can't turn out properly when that happens. So you bring your shoulders back, let the hips be where the hips want to be, the front hip bones. And then with a breath out, bend the front knee and press into your back foot. Shoulders back, hands to heart, and exhale out. The palms can turn up. Some deeper breaths here. You can go a little deeper or come out. Keep the back foot pressing down. Take a peek back at your left hand so that rotates the neck. Look over the middle finger and then turn and peek over the right hand. And when you come up, bring the arms over your head. Parallel the feet. The hands can come down onto the hips. Let's turn the whole of the left foot out. Back heel goes back. So much of the pose comes from feeling our feet grounded, and you try and get, the balls of the feet, the heel, the outer edge. You can lift and spread the toes a bit. Turn the front thigh out. If your hips go along with that movement, that's fine. You don't want to have your hips square and your front knee tucked and turned in. So front leg moves out, and then bring the shoulders back. When you're ready, bend the front knee and a breath out to extend your arms. Just settle here for a bit. You can move in or out as you like. Deeper breath, stronger pose. Legs are working firmly. Front knee, move it out over the ankle. The palms turn up, turn over, peek back at your back hand, look out over the middle finger, and peek over the front hand, look out over the middle finger. Then as you come up, Parallel the feet, arms over the head, legs straighten. And exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. Interlace and just squeeze the shoulders back. Lift the chest. Squeeze shoulders back. Lift chest. You can gaze up if you like, if that's nice for your neck, or you can also let the head release down. Release the hands, hinge at your hips, a little bend in the knees is fine. And forward fold, legs nice and wide. And move the weight side to side. Head doubles and bobbles and hangs and sways a little. Your gentle, nuanced, exploratory movement. And then come halfway lift. Hands in front. Bend the knees, bring the hands on the hips and push all the way up. Heel toe your feet in. Feet hip distance. Take some circles with the hips one way and take some circles with the hips the other way. And then we'll move back out into wide legs again. Wide legs again. And we'll take the warrior two, which we just did, and then we'll move it into side angles. So turn the right foot out. Back heel goes back. Hands to heart. Exhale, warrior two. So establish a nice firm warrior two. Then the forearm rests on the thigh. And I like to keep my palm up. With your left hand, bring it on your shoulder and turn the shoulder out, open. Ground into your back leg and feel the connection back foot, back leg, side body. The left arm to the sky. And then reach slowly out over the head. And you do your best not to hang down on the bottom shoulder, not to cramp, sort of collapse around the neck. The top arm, turn the palm towards the floor. Long breath. Side bend. Side lengthening. Last moment here. Focus on a long exhale through the nose. And bring yourself up, hands on the hips. Let's go the other side. Turn the palms out, the foot out, and the back heel back. Hands to heart, warrior two. Take a pause just to establish strong warrior two. And then forearm rests on thigh. Your right hand can help open the chest. Even swipe the belly, hand on the shoulder, open up. Reach the arm to the sky and then out over your ear without sort of scrunching, collapsing on the neck. Reach out, press the back foot down, and how much connection can you find through the foot, the back leg, through your belly, through the side waist. Reach out through the ribs and the fingertips. Take a couple deep breaths in and out through the nose, lengthening the exhale. And when you're ready, bring it up, parallel your feet and sweep arms up. Interlace the hands behind the back again, just the other thumb on top. It's almost the same. Squeeze back, lift your chest. Then if you like, keep the hands behind your back for a while. As you forward fold, let the head hang. You can release the hands at any point. some point the hands release down. You can bring the hands out to your feet. Maybe draw down a little more. You could even bring your hands on the back of the head. Give a little bit of traction if that feels good. Don't overdo things. Don't push. Never force. Hands on hips. Bend your knees and slowly rise up. Heel toe feet together or closer together. They don't have to be all the way. And then circle your hips one way and circle the hips the other way, side. Moving, trying to create circles. So the hips are where the upper leg bone fits into the pelvis, and it's a ball and socket joint. And so when we do this movement, it's in the back, but it's especially trying to find that ball and socket joint where the upper leg bone fits into the pelvis. And that's specifically the hip joint. You kind of think of this whole area like hips, but hip joint is very specific, and it's actually more in the front. It's the hip flexors, these ropey bits, ropey things you feel from the front hip bone. That sort of covers the deep underneath is the hip socket in that area. So you might be able to feel the rotation come from there. People hold a lot of tension in their hip joints quite often. Okay, so let's do one balancing pose before we get back down to the floor. So when you balance, it's most of the balance actually happens through the inner ear. There's some fluid and some little hairs, and a lot of our balancing comes from the vestibular ear system and the eyes. And then also there's a lot of proprioceptors in the ankle as well. Okay, so you just allow your breath to be natural. Feel 2 feet on the floor. That's what we're used to. Bipeds, we're two-legged creatures. Then slowly transfer the weight onto the left or the right, it doesn't matter. And slowly lift the left leg up, hold underneath or around the knee. Keep the breath moving and settle the eyes somewhere, an area. It doesn't have to be like a strong point. Still let your eyes take in a bigger field of vision. But then what happens if we turn the eyes to the right? Just the eyes. Wow, then that balances, that challenges the balance. Come back to what you're looking at and just turn the eyes, not the head, to the left. And if I threw you off balance, that would be normal. Okay, slowly bring your leg down. So yeah, I sort of sprung that on you. So when I say move the eyes, like literally just move the eyes and not the whole head for that one. Let's go the other side. Transfer you've got your 2 feet, so you feel that. Then you slowly transfer to the right. I like to do nearly all my balances with an unlocked knee and a bouncy hip rather than locked out. Locked out is locking out makes it much more difficult to balance. Here we can, with a little bent knee, we get a lot more communication all the way down through the ankle, knee, hip. So when you're ready, settle the eyes somewhere, breath moving smoothly, and hold either underneath or around the front. Be tall, breath moving in and out with an emphasis on lengthening your exhale. Then just the eyes can turn to the right. That will challenge balance. Back center, and just the eyes can turn to the left. And back center. Last breath. And slowly down. We're going to go the other side again. And this time when we're in there, we will turn our head. We'll turn the whole head, okay? So 2 feet, transfer the weight to the left. Slowly bring the leg up. And turn your head to the right. The eyes can turn. Back center. Keep breathing. Turn the head to the left. If you wobble, fall out, that's fine. That's practice. Back center. Slowly down. Take a moment, 2 feet. It's always that sense of relief, like, oh yeah, I know how to stand with 2 feet, which isn't a given, right? Not everyone can stand on 2 feet, so it's a precious thing. Transfer the weight onto the right, lift the left. Okay, turn your head to the left. And back to center, turn your head to the right. And back to center. And slowly down. And we'll take one more variation, and this time we'll open the arms up. So take the weight into the left, hold on to the right, and then with your right hand, open the knee out to the right, the left arm to the left, and turn your head to the left. Back to center. This next one's a little trickier. Now hold on to the leg with your left hand and start to twist and look over the right shoulder. The arm can go behind you, it doesn't have to, so now this is a balanced twist. Back center and slowly down. Okay, and then we'll try the other side. Take the weight into the right, lift the left leg up, slowly, and don't worry, falling out, wobbling is absolutely normal. Bring the leg out and then the right arm out. Turn your gaze to the right. Keep the breath moving smoothly in and out through the nose. Back center, close the knee in with your right hand, hold on to the left knee. Start to twist and look around to the left. Look around to the left. Maybe the arm goes behind you. It doesn't have to. It can stay on the hip. Okay, and then release, come back. And if you've never, slowly down, if you've never tried that twisting one before and you found it hard, well, it's hard, right? So it slowly comes with practice. Come up onto the tiptoes. We'll get down to the floor. On tiptoes, and then see if you can come down on your tiptoes, slowly using the strength in your thighs all the way down. And come and take a seat. I'll move my camera down again. Okay, so take your seat. Extend the legs out. Let's bring the right leg over and the left leg tucks up underneath. Fingertips by the side. Have your sitting bones releasing down. If the sitting bones don't ground down, bring yourself up on your blanket. Okay, so you want both sitting bones down. Your left arm to the sky, and then exhale, you can hug your knee. The other arm reaches out behind, broaden across collarbones, and take a twist. And in your twists, you need to deliberately lengthen the breath, because when we twist, it makes it harder to breathe, the way we've moved the ribs. And the diaphragm muscle that moves up and down, moves down on the inhale and up on the exhale, gets twisted. And so it's harder to breathe. So we need to consciously have the breath a little deeper. So especially the exhales, if we Get the exhales long and smooth, and then we just let the inhale suck in more by itself. You can hook the elbow, you don't have to. Last breath or two. Release, bring yourself out, and let's take the other side. Left leg over, right leg tucks up. Right arm comes up, and as you exhale, you can hold the knee. The other hand comes behind. Keep the front of your chest, collarbones broad. And take some breaths, exploring your twist. You can untwist a little bit. Make sure your back feels happy when you twist. No sharp, no nagging sensations, but sensations that are more dull and diffused. Pressing, it's fine. Lengthening exhale. Deliberately breathing because you can feel how your breath gets restricted with the twist. Look around as you relax the face. 2 more breaths. And release. Come and lie down on your back so that we can do bridge pose. Okay, so lie down on your back with your knees bent. Feet can be as wide as the mat initially, and take your knees gently side to side. Let's do bridge pose. So you can just touch the back of the heels. You don't want the heels too far back or too far forward. Maybe if you reach, you can just touch the heels. Feet hip distance, left to right. Then lift the pelvis, the low back, waist, upper back. Roll your shoulders under. You can interlace the hands, or rather than interlace the hands, just press down through your elbows. You could lift the forearms like I'm doing here. You hold your pelvis up, press down into the feet, press down into the ball of the big toe. Lifting up the knees forward. Let your chin come in towards your chest. Let your chest open up towards your face. 3 more breaths. Of course, always come out early if you need to. And then 1 vertebra at a time. Pelvic tuck as you come down, so the upper back, the waist, the low back, and then the pelvis comes down. And we can take 1 more of those. Let's take 1 more. If you know supported bridge and you'd rather do supported bridge, then do that. But otherwise we'll do another bridge. If you know supported bridge and it's you like putting the block underneath and you want to rest, do that. Otherwise, let's do a more active one to finish. Again, peel the pelvis, and then the low back, and then the waist, and then the upper back. Roll the shoulders under, use the arms and shoulders to help you lift up. Strong into the feet, the legs are strong. There's a little grip in the tush, but not too much gripping. Back of the neck long. And then an up level, bring your feet together. We're going to take a leg in the air by, drawing the left knee into chest and then foot to the sky. Just for 3 breaths, reach up, spread your toes. Foot on the ground is grounding, elbows grounding, then bend the knee, foot to the floor. That's better, 2 feet. We can do that. Then feet a little together. Ground into your left foot as you draw the left knee in. Extend it to the sky. Breathe deeper. More is being asked. And bend knee. Bring it down. Last breath or two here. It'll suddenly feel easier now that we don't have a leg in the air. And then one vertebra at a time. Slowly come down, slowly come down. Hug your knees into the chest. Take some circles with your knees. Inhale, knees away, and exhale, draw back. Inhale, knees away, exhale, draw back. Inhale, knees away, exhale, draw back. Roll over to the side and push yourself up so we can take a couple of forward bends. Just take a moment sitting up. That may still be feeling the effect of the bridge pose. Extend your legs out and bring the sole of the right foot into the left inner thigh. And you can turn the knee in so you're extending. You turn, rather than the knee moving back, you turn the knee in. Take a twist towards the left. There's a little twist to the left. Lift the chest and then start to slide the arms down the leg. And it doesn't matter how far you go, keep a little bit of the twist. Keep the knee moving in. And then take a forward fold. If you have a belt, you can bring it around your foot. You can always bring your yoga block underneath your forehead. Take some yawns, moan and groans. No need to suppress them at all. If you don't go very far, it doesn't matter. There's all kinds of reasons why some people, and I'll say flexible in air quotes, there's so many people overrate flexibility and are not even quite sure what it is. A lot of it has to do with also our bones. And if our bones butt up against one another, then we can't go further. So quite often with forward fold, you come up against pressure of the bones and then that's it. You're not going to go further. So don't worry if you don't go over further. Just enjoy wherever you are. And then slowly bring yourself up. And we'll change sides. Bring the sole of the left foot into the right inner thigh. Close the knee in. So we sort of start to orient over the extended leg. Take some twisting action around towards the right. Because when we forward fold over one leg, there's a little twisting action. It's nice when that happens. And then have a lift through the front body and then slide the hands down, release in the back of the neck, and just you do your forward bend. Don't force, don't push, and if you've been practicing yoga a long time and then you never go further in a pose, then at some point you just say, great, that's my pose, this is my body, and be happy. Quite often yoga attracts people who naturally have a lot of mobility and flexibility, and mobility and flexibility are two entirely different things. We always think about flexibility and not mobility. So oftentimes we think you need to be flexible to do yoga, but that's not true. It's simply not true. But um, the popularization of yoga, we think it's true, you know, the way it's marketed, but it's not true. You just do your yoga in your body. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It completely matters much more how it feels like and the overall effect. Achieving your forehead to your shin, it does not make you a kinder person. A last breath or two, long exhales. Bring yourself up. Then we can take a little bit, we can do a symmetrical pose here. I'm going to sit up on a blanket. I like that for the symmetrical poses. Bring the soles of the feet together and a little bit away from you. So you can bring them all the way up close, or you can go a little further away. So you decide. Hold on to your ankles and rock side to side. Be on a blanket. It can be very helpful. And then lift through the front. Take a stretch through the front of the neck. And start to hinge at your hips. And you just go as far as your body will go. Make sure you can breathe well. Try not to collapse too much at the base of the ribs, or else the diaphragm has trouble moving. So keep some space at the base of the ribs when you go over. You can stay here and continue in the butterfly, or you can extend the legs out and then forward fold with the legs out. If this all feels good for your legs and your back. Don't push, don't force. Doesn't matter how far you go. Back out a little bit if it's too intense. Hold on to the legs. Maybe you get your feet. No extra points if you do. It's just how it is. Some people can get their feet, some can't. Okay, so 2 or 3 more breaths with some length in the exhalation. And slowly come up. Let's lie yourself down. Again, getting ready for Shavasana. We'll come down, we'll take a happy baby, and then we'll move into Shavasana. So if you need socks on, or you need something to get yourself cozy, do that. I'm going to bring my head, give myself a little bit of a pillow, which helps lengthen out the neck. And then grab your feet. You can have your feet go wide. You can rock side to side, just kind of moving the legs around. You can also keep your feet together. You can extend out one leg, extend out the other leg. Might be just enough. You might just be like, oh, I barely grabbed my legs. That's fantastic as well. Okay. Have your knees bent. Knees, feet as wide as the mat. You could take a couple knees in and out right before we extend the legs for Shavasana. So for the relaxation, Shavasana, it can be really nice release in your low back and your hips if you put something underneath the back of your knees. So it can be a rolled up blanket, it can be a block under the back of the knees this way with the blanket, or you can also use your yoga blocks, which can be nice to release in the back of the knees. So the block is a little below and a little bit above the knee joint. As you get into the pose, you settle yourself, take off glasses if you wear them, take up your space, you can extend the arms out. You can take a sigh or a yawn. Put on a blanket if you're cold, dim the light, and then you rest. Be held by the floor, by the ground. The earth has got you. Feel the contact of the back body, back of the head, shoulders, back of your tush, legs, feet. Let that contact spread and acknowledge the center of the earth. Also acknowledge the sky, the space, the formless space, and allow yourself to expand into your space, taking up as much room as you need, your rightful place on the planet, no more and no less than every other sentient, living, conscious being